You are now listening to the Cheatcoders podcast with Nats and Rat.
Hey guys, it's Nathan here. Another episode of the Cheatcoders. I got two guests with me. I'm trying to emulate the original intro, but people aren't even going to understand what I'm talking about. Can we start again? My bad. Alright, no, fuck it. We keep going. No edits.
Okay.
Alright, on my left, we got Don Valix, Singapore. We got Raf in Sydney. And we got me. Different time differences. We're all wearing hats. It's a lovely day. I don't know about you guys. We're all in different time zones. But I'm on a tangent. Raf, please take over.
Yeah. So, this is a special episode. So we had to get another person on board because this is our 40th episode, guys.
Oh shit!
40 podcast episodes.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. I need some alcohol, but fist bump to that. But the whole reason that this is a big deal for us is that at the beginning we didn't know if we're gonna do 10. We didn't know if we're gonna do like 3. But we actually consistently got through 40 episodes each week. Which, as in like one episode a week, and we've made it to dope. 40, which is nearly to 50, which is nearly to 100, which is nearly to 200.
That deserves a clap. Yeah.
If I had a soundboard and I knew how to work it, I'd use the applause button right now.
The soundboard that lasted for like 2 episodes, and you got too lazy. You talking about that soundboard?
Yeah. Hey Nats, could you do me a favor and put the camera a bit more back because we're recording your little video as well. So that there you go, right there, so we can see your pretty face. And we got Don here because he's become a fan from the start, and now he's pretty much the third wheel of our little podcast. We're the tricycle. And then he's the big wheel in the front. He's going to be the guy in the front.
That doesn't sound good, Rav. That's not a good metaphor, man.
Thanks for making me feel welcome, man.
If you want, I could use tripod. It's up to you. 3-legged tripod, all good. But so how you guys been?
Been good, man. Been good. How are you guys?
Pretty good. Haven't slept in 24 hours, but I'm pretty good.
Yeah, all right. That's good. I'm glad you guys are super in depth with your conversation.
it's like you know conversations, and you don't want to have the conversation, so you give like a 1-word answer. Imagine that. It'll be the shortest podcast in history. It's like this podcast is only 2 minutes long. Yeah, they didn't feel like talking. So
they didn't feel like talking after 39
good,
episodes.
Raf.
We don't want to talk.
I'm good.
I was telling Nats earlier.
Good.
I was telling Nats earlier that like when he came onto the Roman Empire podcast, he and I were just talking. We'd gone on so many tangents, and the episode just feels like two mates just talking shit the whole way.
Hey,
I really think that's how podcast should be. Like conversation. That's probably the best way to present an hour-long podcast, because I wouldn't listen to an hour-long conversation that felt like an interview. It just feels too stagnant to me. But when it's flowing,
Yeah, exactly. This is a perfect plug opportunity, actually, because this is gonna drop before the episode with me and Don. Yeah, this. I think
it'll drop. After. This will drop after because
Don's
got the Monday slot. We've got the Wednesday slot.
We have slots now. Shit. It's official.
It's a network.
Official.
We try to keep it like professional
network, man. I feel so professional right now. You guys have your microphones and the camera. I want to be really professional. There we go. So is that
okay? Just covering up him.
I'm done. I'm good. All right, I'll stop fucking around.
What are we here to talk about, boys?
I don't know. Nat's interested in the World Cup all of a sudden.
Yeah, man. I'm cultured. I'm cultured.
He's gonna come to Australia. Everyone's like, "Oh, did you watch the soccer?" And Nats will be like, "No, it's football.
It's football.
It's
exactly.
Football,
man.
Sorry, mate. It's football, mate. Get it right.
It's football.
Get it right."
It's just different. The energy here is just different. It's like it's hard not to get into it because it's just the talk of thing. It's like in Australia, you can't escape some things when the Origin's on. Even if you don't follow football, you just get into it. You're like, wow, yeah, did you see the game, kind of thing. Yeah. So I guess that's what happens when it's more of a Roman Empire type topic, but when you travel, you adapt to your environment. But anyway,
I don't know if that was shots at me because I traveled to Parramatta, so I could be part of the Roman Empire too, roaming around in Sydney.
It's true. Good. This is true.
It's true. It is true. True. It is. No, yeah.
But like, yeah, I noticed that the World Cup is being, well, every 4 years, it's like a big thing everywhere. Like in Australia, like
Absolutely.
I'm seeing everyone's Instagram posters. They're having World Cup parties. They're decorating their house full of World Cup themed decorations.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Like it seems that, I don't know, like it surprises me every 4 years how the World Cup is such a big thing, because I'm not interested at it at all. But you know, I'll try to get into the spirit. I'll go for Australia when they reach the finals, I guess.
I'm going. Yeah,
we'll see how we go.
They're playing now, so they're playing now against France, so it's pretty cool. But you know,
so you mean they played on the weekend? They played on the weekend when this releases.
I didn't get that. Sorry, I'm not with you.
I'm trying to figure out too.
No.
Next topic, please.
But what I saw about the World Cup, and you guys might be interested in this. Will Smith did the theme song for the World Cup.
Yes,
I
noticed that too.
Did he do
a
live performance for that? Was there a live performance, or did he just do the song?
I'm not sure, but he did it with Nicky Jam or something. What's his name?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't know who the other guys were. I was like, oh, Will Smith, nice. That's like his first song in like ages, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and
cool.
Diplo produced it as well. So
No way! I gotta listen to the song.
That's a Nats thing.
That's my shit. Why is that my shit? Like, out of nowhere.
Because you're the raver. So how was your rave last night? You went to a rave or something like?
Oh, it was excellent. Yeah. You know, just a casual rave. Just good company.
Yeah, just
nice music.
casual rave. Just a casual rave.
I haven't gone home where the sun's up in a long time. Well, yeah, it was 6 a.m. So yeah. I got home at 6 this morning.
Which rave was it?
Out. It was Ministry of Sound.
Yeah.
It was my second time going. The first time was, my first time there, and that's how I found my apartment. I think I've talked about that before already. But yeah, it's I don't know. It was really good. I'm not gonna get into too many details. It's a good time. Yeah, cool. And that's another episode of the Cheatcoders.
I think the main point here is that like you went to this rave and then you haven't slept. You I don't know. I think you slept like 2 hours or something.
Yeah. Because it's only 1 o'clock, I think, and I woke up at 8. So I got home at 6 and I got up at 8, and now it's 1. I'm gonna crash out for sure later, but it's the weekend. What about you guys, man? Enough about me. What's happening in Sydney and Singapore?
Oh, nothing at all. That's why we're asking you.
over here
really is happening here.
Over here in Singapore, it was like the end of Ramadan, so it was like a Hari Raya festival and stuff like that.
Cool.
They basically have a festival when there's like food stalls and like clothing stalls. It's just to celebrate the end of Ramadan.
Is Singapore? This mind my ignorance. I hope I don't offend anyone. Singapore is a predominantly Muslim country. Is that right?
One part of their population is like is Malaysian, so a lot of Malaysians are Muslim.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know that. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Definitely place I want to visit one day. Maybe I can visit you if you're still there. On my way back to Sydney, if you're still there.
How
long are you planning to stay there, Don?
Planning to stay here for maybe another 6 months, and then hopefully moving to Europe.
Gah! Dude, we could be neighbors. Neighbors. No joke, really? We're in Europe, like.
For real, we'll see. Not sure yet. We wanna kind of suss it out. I'd love to live in Spain. I've got a friend that's just moved over to Spain and she's exploring. She's not sure. I think she went over in a similar fashion to you, where she's over there with a working visa and she's doing some exploring, doing some trying to find out where she's gonna base herself in Spain. So
that's very cool. Yeah.
Spain might be really cool, as well as maybe Amsterdam, but we'll see how it goes, man.
Nice.
I don't know why you said Amsterdam. That's made the face. Alright.
Nice. I haven't been yet. It's always on the list. But
you could go to Amsterdam over a weekend or something.
Yeah.
I think my brother went to Amsterdam for a weekend, and then you can take a train. It's like 8 hours from Amsterdam back to London. It's
ridiculously close. Yeah, man. Now that I'm in the rhythm of traveling and just booking things, I'm like, okay, it's pretty easy now. Like, I don't know, traveling's really exhausting, but I guess like anything, once you get into a rhythm of something, it's like, okay, cool. nothing is actually that far. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going with this anyway. Yeah,
Raf,
hopefully you can move. That'll be fun.
Raf, when are you gonna come visit one of us?
Yeah, right.
When I'm out of this Sydney thing, I'm like stuck in Australia.
Now, for now, it's like, free Raf.
Yeah. I'm hoping to like actually go visit one of you guys. I always wanted to go to Singapore and I always wanted to go to Europe. So there you go.
And you know, it's a perfect time. Like I've been telling my little brother and just whoever really, like, it's a great opportunity. Like while we're here, it's kind of good to have someone based in that area, because then like one, they can show you around, and two, like you can just crash here, man. Just crash here, bro. Free accommodation.
Sure. Slumber parties all night. Oh, good.
Slumber parties. I like that.
Yeah. It's a 1-bedroom, so we got to share my bed. That's the only catch. Is that all right?
All right, cool. I know. I see how you pick up. Nice. I see your strategy. But
we're all friends here.
So
we can just
I think one of the topics we wanted to talk about, that the whole reason that Don's in his podcast is because he follows the E3 conference, and he noticed something's going on. A
I don't know
little
anything about this.
controversy is going on. So, Don, can you please explain this whole E3 debacle to our Cheatcoders fandom?
No worries. So E3 is a video game conference. I think it goes on every year, and so pardon me. What's happening at the moment is they're showcasing all of the games that are going to be released in the next coming in the upcoming months and in the next year or so. And there is one game that's called Beyond Good and Evil 2, and there's a company that I used to do production for called Hitrecord, and they're teaming up, or they're collaborating with, you know, the Ubisoft, which is the creators of Beyond Good and Evil. Yeah. And there's a bit of controversy there because of the way that Hitrecord works as a company.
Okay.
And yeah, I've noticed they're a collaborative type of network thing where like a bunch of people contribute and kind of audition their if they're a drummer, they put drums into a song, and then only a few things get chosen, and that few gets paid on royalties. I'm guessing that's what I've read. Yeah. And I think it's always been like this, but now it's on such a bigger scale in terms of being on a video game. I think that's when the whole controversy has come. It's like, what if the people that contributed don't get paid? Yeah. And is it fair that they don't get paid? You know, so like, so can you please clear it up or something? I'm pretty like misty in the
all good, man. All good.
Reading it.
So the thing about Hitrecord is it's first a collaborative community. So it started off just as a forum where people were posting up. I think it was Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who is the CEO of the company. He first started it as a place where he started putting up work and just like his songs or his artwork, and like his friends' songs and artwork. And then other people or followers or fans were like, hey, I want to try to contribute to that. And it turned into this community of people just, putting all their art onto the internet. And then from there, they would turn it into something new. It's like giving resources. So if you make art, if you make, animation, if you do voice acting, if you do music, they would come together and they would make a TV show, or they'd make a radio show, or they would put together a book or a magazine. It's just, pardon me, it's just this way of creating art collaboratively with people. And what you were saying, Raf, was that, it's true that if there is a funded project, then things that get chosen for the funded project, say if I draw a picture of a dog and the dog gets used in the movie or the dog gets used in the video game, then I get paid for that little dog that I drew, right? But if I draw a dog and it doesn't get included on the video game, then I don't get paid at all. But I think the main difference that a lot of people are thinking is like in in the beginning, the first like vision or mission statement for the company is that it's a collaborative community. So it's not just those projects that they're trying to create. Sometimes they just create just for the sake of creating. You know what I mean? And so people are free to give their work, but at the same time, it still belongs to them. Like they own their rights to their own art.
The rights to the work.
So essentially, is it like a distributor? Is that what you mean? Like you whatever you like in music. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my head around it. Like, you know, if you make a beat and then you put it onto like whatever those companies that sell. The fuck was that? Sorry,
that was Shiv watching Jurassic Park.
Oh, okay.
It's just in the background. So,
but wait, you know what I'm getting? Is that what it is? Like, sorry, I'm just.
It's not a distributor. It's like people coming together and just, you know, putting stuff up. So for instance, I would use it as a great place to get ideas. So if someone put up a like a violin sound, I would take that violin sound and I'd make a beat out of it.
And then they get paid the royalties for that, for you using that sample.
If it gets used for something, like if it gets used for
a
project.
If it gets used for like a short film or like to sell a product or something, and they get money. If money comes in through that collaborative project, then that's when they split the money. So the whole thing with the video game now is that this is definitely gonna, you know, generate some money, and then I think the soundtrack of the video game is gonna be strictly in Hitrecord collaborative efforts.
Yeah.
And that gets a bit crazy because a lot of people are going to try and get their piece of the pie and to put their contribution into this game.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be people who spend about 40 hours in a week like trying to perfect their, like, I don't know, their part of the contribution, but it'll never make it on the game in the end, and then they won't get paid for it. So I think that's part of the controversy. Is like, should people get paid even though they don't make the end product in such a big scale? It's like I think an example that the article that Don sent to us on the conversation was
I didn't read it. My bad.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt is an actor. If he goes into a film set and films his pieces, and then all that footage of him acting gets cut out and never makes it to the movie, he'll still get paid as an actor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So should people who contribute to
a project,
this soundtrack, this project,
but
this is going to be a big scale project.
Are they voluntarily contributing, or are they being like contracted like work, but it's no guarantee pay? Is that how it's looked at?
It's voluntary. It's
voluntary.
It's pretty much voluntary.
It's kind of, if it's voluntary, then I don't know. This is just, I'm obviously not. I'm just thinking about it firsthand wise.
Yeah, and I think some people, it depends on what you expect from the company.
Yeah.
The company itself, they don't say that you can make a living off of you know, being like working there, pardon me, or like contributing there all the time. It's not. It says
giving you a shot at it.
They say that they say that you can get paid, and whatever artwork or whatever works get used, you will get paid for. And then it's more about creating projects together, more about creating art together than it is about getting paid. The getting paid part is just to help the company move forward, because you can't, you know, keep a company going unless there's money involved.
Of course,
I think with Hitrecord and his collaboration with this game, it's all going to come down to the contracts that are actually involved, like the processes
stipulated in the beginning. From the beginning,
whatever stipulated. From the beginning, they're not going to go with the whole free for all thing where everyone, you know, I don't know how it works. I'm just guessing that there's a message board, and then someone puts their beat onto it, and then someone adds to it, and then someone adds to it, and ends up on the game. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be like, you know, I think there's going to be a way where they're going to have to cut down a couple of contributors, like, and try to find a way to get particular contributors involved rather than because if you make it all free for all, like, I could just sign up now and then I'll try and contribute.
And then everyone just gets
the game,
a piece
you know?
of the pie. That doesn't make sense. Yeah.
The way that they do it is they will specifically ask for a particular thing. So they will have an idea in mind and say, okay, we've got a particular style of music that we want to play. Now guitarists play guitar in this style, or drummers play something to this melody, and like they'll make the music based on a particular like description that they make. So they have one, you know, they have a lead project manager or a lead producer for a particular project, and that person will make decisions on what goes in the project. Like I produced the track for one of their it was like a record for Hitrecord, and it was supposed to be like they basically gave me free reign. They're like, hey, remix this song and then, you know, reach out to the community and tell us what you want. So I remixed the song, and okay, I said, okay, I want trumpets, I want horns, I want, you know, this or anything that people can contribute, and then from there I will take those pieces and then I'll add them together and, you know, do all of these things. And from that, with me, what I tried to do with that record was include as many people as I could into it, even if it was like a tiny little snippet of them saying like uno, dos, or something like that, right? And they would get paid a percentage of the budget that we got from the record. So I think it also depends on what your expectations are. If you go on the website and go, oh, okay, you say draw a smiley face, and you draw a smiley face, but it doesn't get, you know, chosen, but then you're expecting like $100 just for that, then that's not what it is. You know what I mean?
It'll ruin the business model if that was the case. Yeah. No, it makes sense. There's a lot of if you compare, there's a lot of like freelance websites that do this as well. Obviously, that's a smaller scale. Like, for example, like a company will use. I forgot the website. I used it for like my like past businesses as well. Like you ask for a logo, you put the description of what you want, what style or whatever, and freelance graphic designers will just hit you up with designs. Obviously, they're not contracted or anything. They're not going to pay guaranteed. It's just if I choose to use their work, that's when they get paid. So
yeah. Would
you say like similar concept, but I guess on a larger scale in that sense?
I think that's what
am I getting this?
Yeah, right. That's what the controversy was a bit about. It's like spec work.
Yeah.
I think that what you're describing there is spec work, speculative
but once again,
work.
It's like it's stipulated in the beginning. Like,
yeah,
you're not saying from the start you're all going to get paid. It's like yeah, it's your time, but you choose to give that time. That's on you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And if your stuff's good enough, boom.
It is a little unfair. But at the same time, I think the controversy comes from the gaming industry, which is a little bit exploitative. You know what I mean? Like they've had history of being exploitative.
Okay.
They don't have unions for developers. They don't have unions for designers like Hollywood does, or and things like that.
That's fair enough.
Because
really interesting, man.
Yeah, because video games, like people could make a video game in their backyard, or they could be working for a company in America, but say, you know, the laws are different here in Singapore than they are in America. So how do they keep up the how do they make sure that the laws are being followed to the T for this particular company if they're outsourcing their workers? You know what I mean?
So it gets a bit like tricky in a sense, because this is a big scale. Because I think Hitrecord is this is its biggest collaborative effort in terms of like, because video games is, especially this company, which is pretty well known, and in video games in general. So this is when it kind of changes what Hitrecord is about. It has to try to change it a bit to suit, or would it keep its current structure and try to adapt that into getting into the video game? Like, would it have to change its collaborative structure? Or would it stay the same?
No, I think it'd stay the same, because I think for them, their number one priority is to be a community that creates art. And this Ubisoft project isn't just the one project that they're doing. So every week they'll be like, hey, rappers, we've got all these beats from other Hitrecord artists, rap about school, or rap about you know, the movies, and they will make these things and generate ideas over and over and over again. And if they build up a big enough like portfolio of ideas, then what the company does is they will package that into books. They'll package that into CDs, records. They'll do stuff to make it so that the people that do contribute art, for the sake of contributing art, will get paid for it. You know, it's not just like, oh yeah, let's team up with Ubisoft and cool, everybody that works for us or everyone that's on this website now fight to create this. Like, that's not the only project that they're doing. You know what I mean?
There's a few of them, yeah.
Okay.
It's just
from what I'm understanding, this company Hitrecord is really based on joining a community of creatives to collaborate. I think that's his first priority. Money is probably not really a priority. It's probably it's third or fourth priority. It's more joining, networking, and collaborating all different artists, which is a good segue to another topic, which is when money gets involved, does it ruin the creatives' juices? Because like I've experienced in the past, like when money gets involved, that's when you end up when you start doing it for the money, that's when the creativity just lowers down to a different level, when if you're doing it for the love of the art. So like in both of you guys' experiences in the past in terms of music or any type of art, has the fact that doing it for the money come to the way you create your art? And
well,
how does it affect it?
My answer is going to be a lot shorter, so I'll go first. I never really made any money, so I'd like to see that side of it. Like maybe if I get paid, I'll come back to you and I'll tell you if it changes my perspective. It's fucking bullshit. I haven't been paid at all. I got paid once. We did that show, Don. I got paid for that. That was like $50. It felt good. I liked it. If it could happen a bit more, then I can.
We got paid and also paid in drinks. I think that night.
Yeah, we got drinks, and then I used the money I got paid on more drinks, and then I had a really bad hangover, and probably spent more money trying to recover. So, no.
Oh man.
Money changes things. That's all I got to say. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, that's my contribution.
I think it does. I think it does change the creation process, because you know that it changes your focus. Like if your focus is to create the best song that you know how to make, then you'll do that. But if your focus is to make X amount of money, then that's where your creative process will go. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like I, for instance, I did a project where I produced a song. I produced a remix for a track, and it was supposed to be like a house track. And so my understanding of house was just, okay, how can I make it the most house sounding track possible, or like a dance song possible? And that's the way that I produced. It wasn't like, oh, this is a sound that I kind of want to hear. I just want to make dance music. You know what I mean? Like it changes the way that...
Yeah, it comes to a point where another party gets involved because you're getting paid for it. So you're going to have to go with guidelines that the person that you're getting paid from, they probably have particular guidelines. Like in terms of videos, they have a particular look they want, particular scenario. They probably have a whole plot and treatment already set out that they want in their head. Because mostly when I do music videos, it's from another artist. So they want to get all hands on. So they have their own say. So like I have to pretty much do a collaborative effort and cater to their needs as well as mine, just to get a balance in terms of, because I'm getting paid, so like I can't completely control the whole situation. And in terms of probably in your case, like with music, like I want you to do a house beat of this remix of this song and remix it to a house song, and then it gives you particular guidelines. So, but it can still be creative, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think so. But again, I think it changes your focus. And I think you guys spoke about this, and I think we've talked about it before, that it doesn't always, when you create something and it's organic, it's fun, it's, you feel alive and you feel fulfilled. But the moment that if you're not having fun, when there's money involved, then you're like, well, I have to make this because now I'm getting paid. You know what I mean? Like it completely changes the project.
Yeah, it really comes down to what's your main priority and knowing what you want out of it. If you're doing it for the music, as in like your love for the music, then just do it for the music. If you're doing it for money, then that's okay too. Like do it for the money, as long as you know that that's what you want out of it. Then
look, I think you guys have very good points. I think the root of it is the motivation. It all comes down to the main motivation of it all. If like your motivation is you want to make the best music possible, there can't be any sort of financial constraints. You're just literally there for the sound. Like usually when people are on that level, they're just whatever, fuck budget, man. I'm just here to make the best fucking song. But then you have people like you can even put this down to rappers. You know, some rappers will like Kanye. He really does it for like, man. He's like. Sorry, I just chose Kanye out of nowhere. But, you know, he's really passionate about the sound. Like, he's really careful about the music. And you got rappers that are just like, let's drop mixtapes. They got that drug dealer mentality. Like, Jay-Z was like that at one stage, you know? Like, I got to push these tapes, these records. They're looking at it in that sort of financial tone. And it still came out as really good music. Like, you can't take it away from that. But his motivation was the hustle mentality as well. It all comes down. I just reckon it comes down to your motivation, and there's no wrong answer. You know what I mean? It just the output will be just completely different, just depending what it is.
Yeah, like you can be successful.
It's good as shit.
Anyway.
It's like either way, it's either it's good as shit, and whatever your motivation is, that will give you your final output.
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah, balance, man. That's all it is. Definitely. Balance.
It's all about the gray area, like the gray area.
It's a gray area
because like you can't be all for the music all the time, because eventually you're gonna have to get paid for what you do, you know.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
at the same time, like you can't always focus on what the money, because you're gonna have to make your product the best product that it is at the same time. So finding that gray area is probably the best way to look at it.
Being in the gray area, I think there's a clear cut answer for that. It's really always a balancing act, and you see it. There's so many examples of on both ends of the spectrum. You have people that are so much creative space that they end up not creating. Like Dr. Dre, Detox never came out because he was probably he's in like Pluto trying to like work on this beat, and it's not happening because he's been on it too much. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you need that deadline. Like Eminem's Marshall Mathers LP, it wouldn't have been as tight if he didn't have his label on his back at one stage, because he thought it was complete at one stage. He didn't have The Real Slim Shady as a single. They pushed him. It's like, you don't have a single. And he was so pissed off that he made The Way I Am, which is one of like the most epic songs, where he's actually bitching about these fucking labels are on my back. And then he made The Real Slim Shady as well. It's a balancing act, you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Just feed off it. Anyway,
yeah,
whoa.
And I think one of the things that you were saying as well, like Kanye West, when you hear, like he would create a particular beat, and you can hear, there's something about it sonically, that you can hear it. You can hear that he kind of went, okay, I want it to sound like this and this and this and this and this stuff. But then some of his works just sound like he's just reproduced something, like just because. So I think there was a remix album for Michael Jackson's Thriller. I think it was Thriller or Bad. I can't remember. And I apologize for not knowing this, but there was a remix that Kanye did, and it just sounded like he'd. I'm trying to remember which song it was. Yeah, he kind of just put the beat from Harder, Stronger. What's the one? What's that song?
Oh yeah. I think it's just Stronger.
Harder, Faster, Stronger.
With Daft Punk, the remix.
Yeah, he just put the beat from that on top of a Michael Jackson song, and that's what it sounded like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was just like the drums. That was it, over like a Michael Jackson song.
Yeah, he was just collecting a check.
Yeah, that's and it,
yeah, pretty
collecting
much.
A check.
Or like Hangover 1 was a good movie, and then Hangover 2 and 3 were just like cash grabs. You know what I mean? Like
cash grabs, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like I think we're going on days where we're gonna do gigs or like film jobs for exposure, because I think we're reaching that age or time of our life. Like,
I feel like that's a paradox that everyone goes through. Like any sort of creative, or anyone you start, it's like there's always that. I don't have the experience, so you do it for free. Like, what's the the paradox? We've all gone through that shit.
Yeah.
Like, but I'll give you some exposure, and then give you. Awesome.
Can't pay bills with the exposure though.
You can't go to your bank and just
deposit some exposure.
Swipe your resume onto the F+ machine, It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that, yeah.
But like I can understand at
and
the
I get
start.
it.
If
I
you're,
get it.
If
and
you're
I get
starting
it.
off
Yeah,
and
you
you're trying to
don't
get your name out
disregard it.
there, do it.
'Cause you do.
Go for it.
How else can you if you have nothing to start with? That's why.
Yeah.
Like when they say like this is like almost completely off topic. It just sparked in my head out of nowhere. But when people build social media platforms like accounts, it's free at the end. But like when you're starting out, you can't just expect to gain followers. You got to like put in and do some shit. Like I don't know, post and comment on people's things and like really engage and really grind for it. It's not just gonna happen kind of thing. It's same thing. If you're just an artist starting out, you can't expect every audience to just be like, whoa, what's he doing? But you're not fucking putting in kind of thing and getting that exposure. One
of the guests like on episode 2 of the Roman Empire, Vienna Marie, she talked about doing things for exposure.
Yeah, shout out.
So we talked about doing things for exposure, and the way that she approaches it is that she will go for do a particular project if it's something that she wants to do. So if she believes in a particular artist, for instance, she will offer her services for free to this artist and say, hey, I really like what you're doing. I love your music. I would love to do a project with you. Can I do a film clip with you? Like, can I produce your film clip? And so she will do it for exposure, but it's on her terms. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a smart way to do it. Sounds a lot like you, Raf. Sounds a lot like you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, if it's one of you guys, I'll do it for probably about $2. It'll be all good, mate.
$2
for a case of beer, I reckon.
Yeah,
just give it beer, trust me. Beer. Raf's happy with beer, trust me.
Yeah, I think every videographer or like photographer or whatever have that inner circle of selected few that they'll just do like free shit all the time because they just believe in that person so much. It's like putting in an investment. Like at the end of the day, like you believe in this person so much that one day, this guy's gonna make it big, and then we're all gonna make it big, and that's when it's all paid off. That's what I'm waiting for. So Nats is not really helping out. So Elo, do your thing.
Whoops.
True. Yeah, the sound down under
looks
looks really good though, man. I like that.
That's dope.
Yeah, man, it's going good, man.
He's got a lot of good guests. Tim's getting a lot of really good guests, man. It's very
and plus it's getting
varied.
If you notice from episode 1 to the episode 4, Tim's getting more comfortable in his environment, in his element. That he's the more comfortable he's getting, the more like the better the content is becoming. So hopefully, like by the time it's episode 20, he's another what do you call it? One of those professional, non-stop hungry media guys.
That's the way to do it, eh? Like it's just the whole journey is progression, and you can see it evidently from clip after clip. You can only get better the more you do it, kind of thing.
Yeah,
as well.
Definitely. So, and at the same time, we're giving a platform to like the upcoming talent. So that's the main thing. Like people who are not noticed, and people exposing people's music to other people who wouldn't have had a chance to look at their music. So that's the whole point of it. So I'm glad that it's actually doing quite well, getting there, and then hopefully it'll just blow up in like in the coming months. So. We got quite a great long list of guests that we have coming up.
Hey guys, listening? Don't you reckon we're like the Avengers of podcasts?
I'm like the Nick Fury. I'm just going after like each of yous and like.
Rav's fucking Nick Fury. Get an eye patch, bro. Shit.
Yeah. I do have cataracts on one eye, so I'm like nearly half blind in one eye. So.
Damn. You know what? You know why that's like a power? Because like you're like fucking Deadpool, or maybe not Deadpool, but like your weakness is your power. Because you've got like eye damage, but your skill is video cameras. It's like a paradox. It's like a conflict. It's like, I don't know. Man, we're like heroes, bro. We're the heroes of free speech.
You're making me feel like really, really like I'm like, oh man, part of the Avengers right now.
This is your Avengers podcast,
With the Avengers.
A lot of people will be listening to this podcast is like, you know what? I don't think you guys are the Avengers because I don't know any of you guys.
All right, maybe the Suicide Squad. With the Suicide
I just came across you guys. Yeah, that's it.
Sorry.
If we're the Suicide Squad, then that makes Raph Amanda Waller.
You're Amanda Waller, bro. Oh, she's whack. No, I'm joking.
I reckon people are listening to this and going, "These guys are nerds, man."
Yeah, man.
I
books.
just own it. I just own it, man. Is what it is. The Avengers of podcasts.
Which is a good segue to one of the topics that we wanted to
Here
talk
we
about:
go.
the art of seduction.
Oh, was that a
remember, like,
topic?
one-
Did I miss the memo?
That was a topic that we were talking about. I'm pretty sure like Don mentioned it in the group chat one time where he read a book in terms of it or something like that.
Oh,
In
right.
regards to- It's not in terms of like seducing a woman. It's more in terms. It's like
Whoops.
presenting yourself to become
Had my interest
like,
for a moment. Now I'm
to,
joking.
to seduce like for success or something like that. You know, I don't know. I think that's the interpretation of it. So, Don, since you're here,
What
do you mean by the art of
Just springing this one on me. I was like, I thought that we weren't going to talk about this one, so I was like, I don't need to prepare for it at all.
It's like getting
I
called up in
reckon it'll
a
be good.
school.
Yeah.
I don't know, like a
I was like,
high school thing.
Ralph's like, Don, it's your turn to present your speech about the art of seduction. Oh, okay.
Then he gets
Sure.
up in class. The art of seduction is about seduction in an art form. And he just fucking goes around and changes words and shit.
So really, well, what did you read about it?
Oh, okay. So I
you on the
feel a
spot,
little
yeah,
embarrassed as
go
well
ahead.
now that you brought up that story. I had gotten out of a long-term relationship, and I
interesting.
felt like I wasn't able to speak to women.
Oh,
I was.
Oh, so
I
it is
was-
particular to women. Okay, let's go.
You've gathered
and
my
I was
interest.
like I was really awkward. I am really awkward at it, and so what I did was I started looking up things on how to pick up women, as you would do if you want to, be better at something. You would try to learn it. And there was a particular book that's called The Game.
Oh
that
my
I don't
God,
know if
I've
you
got
guys
that
have
book.
heard about. Yeah, you got that book. And I tried.
Yeah.
I tried reading it, and I didn't want to continue reading it because it didn't really interest me. It just felt like
It's a bit douchey.
people, and it felt like people like bragging. And so every time I kind of hear a dude talking about, I can pick up any woman and I can use this and this and this, it just sounds like they're bragging and just like swinging their dick around. You know what I mean? But then I read a book called the Noble Art of Seduction. I think that was the book that you're referring to, by a pickup artist whose name is Kezia Noble, and she's a female. And when I read it, I was like, this sounds more like
Authentic.
authentic. If it sounds like more like a woman saying, sometimes men find it difficult to speak to women because it's difficult, and she explains that women are sometimes scared to speak to men. So how do you find the the happy medium in between there?
Okay.
And part of it is presenting yourself in a particular way, or if you want to attract women, then shave, or wear a nice t-shirt, wear a cologne or something. It's those types of things. It's not like wear a nice suit, buy the best shoes, or whatever. It's just present yourself in a way that is confident, present yourself in a way that is attractive. You know what I mean?
So this kind of leads to a conversation that I wanted to go to. Is this
Fucking Raph.
Everyone
he's got
has a
something. He's got tactics. This is what he does.
everyone has especially guys. Everyone has a character that they put on when they're trying to impress someone from
Think
the
there's a
opposite
character?
sex.
This ain't an image. I live this. Nah, I'm joking.
No, but you do. I'm pretty sure you pull on a character. There's always the
Bro, I've
funny
got like
guy.
I've got like
There's
100
always the
characters.
funny guy.
I'm like a split personality.
There's always
Dude.
the
You don't know what
nice
you're gonna
guy.
get.
There's always the talented guy. Like, I'm pretty sure I can imagine Don just pulling out a guitar just to impress.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Just playing John Mayer. Or
He's
some
the
shit.
ukulele guy on the campfire. He's the ukulele guy.
But, like,
Oh,
for
mate.
sure.
But like, what
like
characters
full
do you
full
pull
full confession right now. When I was younger, I
Oh, I
played
like
the
this.
talent. I played talent card all of the time. I remember, like, I was
Oh,
at my
yeah,
cousin's house, and her friends were over, and I would walk past them, and I'd be like singing a particular song, and one of her friends were like, "Oh my gosh, your voice is so nice," and my cousin called me out. She's like, he's just singing because, you know, he's trying to impress you. He's just trying to pick up or something like that. And I'm like, damn it, she's cock blocking me.
Sneaky dude.
So would you always pull out the talent one, or like what other cards would you pull out?
When I was younger, that was my go-to.
Credit card?
My credit card. When I was younger, that was my go-to.
Credit card.
Now it's like I try to project confidence now, and it's not I'm not always the most confident person. Like I may come across as confident, but you can't.
I was
be
about to say
confident
you don't strike me as someone that would ever like have any problems approaching women or talking to women. That's just, you know, don't get your head inflated. That's my perception of you.
But maybe I play that.
I think
card
it's evident
really well.
that the Cheatcoders think that Don is a good-looking guy.
He's a suave dude, man. That's why we put him on the show. Me and Raph are like scaring viewers away.
Half of the episode that me and Don were on, like episode 36 or 7 or something, it's just me just talking about how good looking I think.
Hey Raph, is there something you're not telling us, bro? Is there something you're not telling us, Raph? Like
No, I'm obviously telling him that he's a good-looking guy. There's nothing I'm hiding.
Oh man, now I'm all flustered. Thanks guys. Thanks. Cheers.
There you go. That's the end of the chat. But for real, like Nats, do you have a character that you pull out? I'm pretty sure you got the whole list down.
Oh, lucky Don went first because I've had a bit of time to think. Same thing. When I was younger, yeah, I played the talent card, but a bit differently, because I was very shy and awkward. Still am socially awkward, but
aren't we all?
I did a very sneaky way, because I already knew I had a following. So like, Raph knows this. Whenever there's a cipher or like people rapping, I'd play the humble guy, like nah, I'm shit, nah. But then be like, oh, check out my MySpace though, and then be like, yeah. And then I get on MSN, Spitfire, man. I'm like, yeah, that's right. I'm killing shit.
What do you mean you get on MSN? You like type out your lyrics?
No, not my lyrics. Then that's when I spit my game. I'll be like, yeah, girl, yeah, that's me. I rap, and I'm like typing away and shit. But then in public, I'm like, oh yeah, like, yeah, nah, I'm shy. Yeah, nah, I don't really rap. Nah, I don't rap. But I knew in my head, everyone knew I rap, and I knew I was good. But I'd play it off like I'm this, like, because the one thing that everyone would say, guys and girls, would be like, dude, you are not like who you are on record, basically. And that was the card I played, and it worked so well. Like a magician. Anyway.
Do you still play that card? As in, like, do you still play the awkward card? Like,
now?
I think awkwardness has a charm to it. Like,
oh, thank you. I hope so.
If you do balance it right, I think you can bring out a different type of charm that attracts the opposite sex.
I realize
do you still play?
Being older.
Do you still bring it out?
No, I realize being older, it's different. It comes with maturity. Like I think like Don, I'll like admit something too. I didn't really read books, but I sort of started being a bit more intuitive with just how to present myself in public. Like you noticed, like last year I started dressing better. I was like, what the fuck was I wearing for 5 years? You know what I mean? Like
always
I
wearing a
with
suit.
track pants, and now I'm like, you know, like at least same thing, like shave a bit. Small things help, and it does make you a bit more confident. But I stopped trying to rely like on the music, because obviously my music kind of evaporated, like the Avengers when they died at the end of the Thanos thing. Anyway, I don't know why that metaphor had to do with anything. And then my fucking rap career disappeared. But like, I realized I can't use this card anymore. Like, there's no point of me like, oh yeah, nah, I'm pretty shit at rapping. And then people are like, yeah, you are, because I don't even know you rap. And I'm like, oh, it's like, you know what I mean? So,
yeah. Or you can pull the, I'm pretty shit at what do you call it, insurance broking.
And it's like, yeah, you are. It's like, but yeah, it's different. I've realized I've had
a bad deal.
Yeah. I realize I've had to rely with what I have, and it's a good thing that Don brings this up, and how you say about the charm. I realized, like, I had a trial phase of, like, what kind of person do I want to be? Because, like, obviously after a long-term relationship, it's a lot of finding yourself as well. It's like, what kind of person do I want to show the world? And I had a bit of a trial phase. I tried to play the cool dude, and people, I realized it doesn't work for you. You just kind of got to own your actual qualities, and then, like, you know, Everyone
Yeah.
has their levels, you know. We have our levels. Like, we're here in terms of our music roster back then, and Christian was here, and the groupies would go to Christian, and me and Raph would just be like, yeah, we'll just stick to these.
He is a pretty boy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So you just gotta own what you have, man. And I guess a bit awkward. So
And that's something that I learned from the book is that you be yourself, and that's the only thing that you can offer. And one of the good things that I read in that book was you kind of think about it as if you're approaching a woman, if she doesn't match what you are looking for in a woman, then it doesn't matter. Like,
doesn't matter. It's not for you. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it's not for you. So there's no sweat. So you just need to understand who you are, what you're looking for in a woman, and then, like, hang on. Damn it. Sorry. My girlfriend messaged. Let me just close it.
It's like, I know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? Like, what are you trying to do?
Let me start again.
Her senses are tingling. It's like, I sense something. He's talking about other girls. Sorry, continue. Apologies.
That's alright. But yeah, one of the things that I read in the book was that you be yourself. You understand who you are, and from there understand what you're looking for in a woman. And any woman that you speak to, if she doesn't fit those things that you're looking for, then it doesn't matter. If you speak to her and say, hey, I'm Don, how's it going? I thought I'd come over and say hi to you. If she doesn't want to talk to you, then, or if she doesn't match the same interests as you, if she doesn't, like the Avengers, or she doesn't like comic books that you like, if she doesn't like hip hop, then you're like, well, cool. You're a nice person. We don't need to. It's like, it's about being yourself and being confident in yourself, so that you can approach
the best version. Like, it's so cliche, but you literally have to be the best version of you, because everyone's got good qualities. It's about emphasizing those qualities as minimal, or like, if you don't have many, that at least work on those very few that you have. Might as well, kind of thing.
And I think bring it back to Raf's point, like all those cards that we play when you're trying to attract people.
Yeah.
Those things are just a part of your personality. So you don't necessarily have to play that card. You just be yourself and go. If it comes up in conversation, you're like, I make music. Yeah,
you know what I find as well, Don? What's a good thing as well? The less you give out, but you're getting the reciprocity, I guess, with like, it's mutual when you're talking. Like, you sense something, and you don't play any of your cards. You're like, damn girl, I got more. I rap as well, and I make podcasts, but you don't even know. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a bonus. So you give out less to an extent, if you know what I mean. Like, you don't have to play all your cards at the beginning, kind of thing.
One of my guests on the Roman Empire, she asked me a particular question, and it came out of nowhere. And I want to ask you guys, what is the most awkward encounter that you've ever had when you tried to speak to a woman?
Awkward encounter.
I'm a terrible person. As in, I'm just awkward as hell.
Wait. As in, just meeting
with the
someone?
sex.
Like, you say you were trying to approach a woman and you're trying to talk to her, and what is the most awkward situation that
dude, I had the biggest fuck up. This was Richard Massigan's birthday in Melbourne. This was, I think this was 2000. No, last year.
I got a Nat story too.
Me? Why? Your story's supposed to be you. Can't do me twice.
Hey,
what is this?
I don't remember because I've been in a long-term relationship, so
okay, fair.
I got a lot of Nat stories.
Raph lives vicariously through me, so that's okay. This is a funny story, because I was obviously fresh out of long term as well, and me and the boys, Richard, Christian, Gomez, and my other friend Alan, we went to Melbourne, and I was in that phase of what kind of person do I want to be? Am I the cool guy that approaches women like I'm the gift from God? But really, I'm not. But anyways, in Melbourne, I don't know. I was like, all right, let's do this. Let's got in the club. I had this mentality. I'm just gonna pick up. That's it. I'm just gonna approach who I
Just
think,
like that.
Terminator vision. Bang! That's my target. My mistake was the target I went for. You know those really gangster Asian chicks, and they were the clique. So it was her and her 2 minions, kind of thing, like her 2 side bitches that aren't as hot. So maybe like the 10, and then we got a 6 and a 6. 10, 6, 6. Right? I go for the 10. I'm like, yo. I didn't really know what I was saying, but the thing was, while I was talking to her, she was looking at me like this, and her friends as well. So I'm just like, fuck. Should I continue talking to the one in the middle, or like involve everyone? But now it's like I'm overwhelmed. Like there's too many people. So like, you gotta like balance it out. Anyway, yeah, like long story short, that happened, and the guys all saw me just walking away, and I'm like, yeah, I fucked up. I'm done with this club. Let's go.
Too much pressure.
And you know what was the worst thing?
Much pressure.
You know what was the worst thing? This is the funniest thing. The rest of the night at that club, for some reason, all the Asian girls were in groups of 3s. And I couldn't remember the first ones I approached. So I couldn't approach anyone else. Because I'm like, fuck, have I already talked to this group of 3? Like, why are you all in 3s? So I fucked it up.
One of the things that I read, just a real quick story in the book, is that when you get to a club, you make friends with everyone. So you just go to each group and you make friends with everyone. And so
that's a good segue to my story, because Nats, when I saw him in the club, he made friends with every single chick in
that was bad. Club. I don't know what it was. That was so bad. I abused my business cards, man. I had a stack of business cards. They were all gone by the end of the night.
It was like it's funny, like, because I wasn't as drunk as he was. He was like super drunk, and I was like probably like tipsy and stuff. So and then what
a dude.
And then you know, like, and then like you just see him go nuts, casting his line everywhere. It was just a great night. I'm just gonna cut it from there. I'm gonna just leave it at that. I'll leave it from there. Yeah, but it was just really interesting. It was good seeing you work, mate.
What was that? That was an Ivy or something, eh?
That was Ivy. Yeah.
My story is
I could get specific, but I just don't want to. I don't know. I was thinking for the cast or integrity.
My story is super awkward. It's funny that all of our stories consist of, like, you know, being in a club. This was like during university, and there was a trend where people would wear large belt buckles. I don't know if you guys were part of that trend.
I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that trend.
Yeah,
like you can buy belt buckles by themselves, and then you can install it into your belt.
Yeah. So I had a belt buckle with my name on it. I'm embarrassed to say.
Was it Don Valix, the full name?
No.
Literally it just said Don Valix.
It just said Don. It just said Don on it.
Fucking cool, bro.
Exactly. It was, you know, a bold fashion choice. That's what it was. Anyway,
can you bring it back in your next mixtape? Next music video, please.
Can you be like a wrestler, just wear your belt on your shoulder and it says Don?
And in the left corner we have Don.
But anyway, that's not even
wrap
the awkward part.
Can you wrap it around your head?
We're not even past the belt yet.
It's not even all past the awkward part.
Not even past the.
Anyway, I was out clubbing with some mates, and I went up to this girl. I was dancing with her, and you know, we were kind of vibing. And I was like, "Hey, what's your name?" And she's like, "Oh, my name's Danny." And cool. And she asked me what my name was, and I said it. I said Don. She couldn't hear me, right? She couldn't hear me over the music, and she's like, "What? Sorry, Don." What I did was, I pointed at my belt.
Sorry.
I pointed at my belt, and she kind of looked down, and then she looked at me, and she just rolled her eyes, and she walked away. And it was the most awkward encounter that I've ever had. And I was like, that night, as soon as I got home, I'm pretty sure I chucked that belt in the bin.
Hey, bro. At least you didn't try to take off the belt just to show him the name. You know. Imagine him being in the club and you're just taking off.
I can
your
imagine him already. Is like. What the fuck? Oh, you got game, bro.
Oh man, I have zero game.
That's pretty funny.
Jesus.
That's funny. I'm so happy that was on the podcast. I'm gonna watch this right after it comes out.
Yeah, man, that's hilarious, bro. This is gonna be one of the greatest hits. Everyone's gonna know that.
Hey, can we start a trend? Can we start making customized belt buckles? Let's bring this back up. We'll call it the Don V or some shit. Trademarked. This is how you get rejected in a club.
Yes. I just can't believe you still had a belt with your name on it, bro. That's crazy. That's some crazy shit.
Oh jeez.
Like you were actually happy with your purchase. He was like, wow, this is gonna change the game.
I bought it from Blacktown. It was like $5 a letter or something like that. You could customize it.
Letter?
And it was like $15 belt.
$15.
Yeah, man.
Wow, imagine you had a long name. That would be shit. Like Raja Jagaraya or something. It'd be like $100 belt.
It's the actual belt. Just wear it around.
It's
your whole full name.
Yeah, exactly. It's a funny story, and you know, we live and we learn. That's the main thing. We live and we learn.
Yeah. As long as we're not like 32 and still wearing our names on our belts, I think we're good.
Man. It happens.
It happens. Good stuff.
But yeah, that's the whole point of me bringing up the art of seduction, so we could get that story out of you, Don.
and to prove to everybody that
what?
we're not good at seducing people at all. None of us are.
So basically, you've learnt nothing in this podcast. This is what you don't do.
Yeah, exactly. This is what not to
enjoyed?
do when approaching a woman.
This is what not to do.
Don't point at your crotch. Unless that's what you're going for. I mean, if that's your
tactic. At least you didn't have your name in your underwear. At least, you know, it could have been worse, man. Could have been worse.
Don, you know what you should have done?
What?
So you got Don as a buckle, but in your undies, it's Valix. So it's like your full name.
You know what?
Don?
You know what? Because the brand is Don Doing Stuff. That's what I should do now. It should be Don Doing Stuff branded underwear, or Don Doing Stuff like belt buckle, so that, you know, people show it off and just be like, yo.
Can the logo be you doing this? Like that? Like a cartoon? On the undies, so everywhere you are.
Just
It's
pointing
just
at
Don.
the
Yes, it should be.
Don's doing your girl kind of thing. No matter.
It's like Mr. Steal Your Girl, but it's just Don doing your girl.
He's doing this. Don's doing stuff to your girl. Don's doing stuff. Fuck.
Oh jeez. Oh boy.
Man.
Don't worry, man. Don's Don. You know, he's just doing stuff. You can't help it.
Now we all know the name, the man behind the name. I get it now. Don's doing stuff.
Yeah, nah. It could mean anything. What is stuff? You know what?
It's very broad. It's very ambiguous. No wonder.
What is
Yeah,
like
you gotta be
Don
mysterious.
doing?
You gotta be mysterious.
Oh man! All right, sweet. I can't get over it.
I think that's.
I'm like so embarrassed right now.
I think we can top that. I think that's the end of the show. I think we have to end on a high. We have to end on a high right now.
I should have
We
timed
just
out.
call this episode
before.
Don Doing Stuff, and people will be confused as hell.
Don Doing Stuff. Underwear.
To your girl. Time out. Don doing your girl. That's controversial as shit,
I'm
man.
gonna get in so
everyone's gonna
much
watch
trouble. I'm gonna get in so much trouble. That's not the message I'm trying to put across, guys.
It's too late. You mentioned the story. That's the name now. Raf, quick. Name the file that right now. Right now. Name it right now.
It's ready on Apple Podcast.
It's already on the
No,
Alright, guys. Anyway, we ended
boys.
there?
Yeah.
Like, keep going.
Sorry. we can keep going. Like, I don't care. Like, did you hear the Nas album?
Yeah, speaking of awkward moments.
Oh, we can keep going. Oh, yeah, about that Nas album though. I haven't listened to it.
He had
King of segues, man.
He had a yeah, no way. He had a listening party in New York, and I was watching it, and it was pretty cool, right? Yeah, I'm trying to just move on as quickly as possible.
We're doing this. We're talking about Nas now. We went like here, and then we're gonna be like, oh, yeah, listening party. You're not gonna make up for Don. The title is Don Doing Stuff. It's not gonna change anything. It's not gonna change the type of exposure you're gonna get. You talking about Nas isn't gonna change this. I'm sorry. Like go on. You can keep going.
Let him try. We can let him try. Let's let him try.
It's just gonna be like 15-20 minutes of us laughing, man. That's what this podcast is.
I'm just hoping the fandom the Cheatcoders fandom will understand.
Oh Jesus. But yeah, no, I was watching the listening party, and it was out in New York somewhere, and it was the coolest looking thing because people were just like out in the middle of. It seemed like they're like in the middle of a bonfire or something like that. But there's Kanye, there's like Nas, and they're in the middle of this circle of people. And people got cameras everywhere, and they're just vibing to this song.
We'll probably give a more specific review next week because like I try to listen to it like before doing this podcast, but there was a lot of distractions. And in terms of Nas, you're gonna have to listen to the lyrics more carefully without any distractions. Listen to it in your own time, in your own space. Because there's gonna be a lot of stuff you're gonna miss, but the beats I've heard, it was pretty great. Like Kanye and Nas do blend well together. Yeah, it's out. It's out on Spotify.
I was gonna
all you have
ask.
to do is just go look in Spotify, type in Don's Belt, and then. Don is good.
I think he regrets telling that story. He's like, I'm not guest speaking anymore in your show.
No regrets, man. No regrets.
No regrets, man. That it's gonna be.
Can you get a tattoo of your belt around your stomach? In the middle is just Don, and the belly button's the O.
Oh man.
Like about your belt, was it like what was the font? Was it a full like bold capital letters DON?
Specific. This guy's getting this. Why you want one, Raph? You want one? I'll get one for your birthday. You want one?
I'm trying to add it to my my visual.
I honestly don't remember. I could, if I haven't thrown it out, it might be in storage somewhere. But man,
you know why you didn't she rolled your eyes at you because you didn't spend that extra $5 for exclamation point or even a question mark.
That's another $5 though. That's another $5.
Hey man, it up to 20.
Hey man, I was at uni. I didn't have that much money.
Oh, you were at uni.
This is during uni days.
So you're at least 20.
Yeah, at least.
Do you have a picture of the belt? Can we use that as the thumbnail for the video? The thumbnail?
You have to have a picture.
You know what? I think I might have a picture of the belt. I'll give it to you guys.
Oh man, if I was you, I would have been like, nah, I don't have any pictures.
No, because
thanks for being a good sport, man.
Because it's a hilarious story, man. I told my girlfriend this, and she's like, yeah, you have no game at all.
Straight up.
Is it a picture of you pointing at it?
Yeah. So I'll give you the photo,
and
I'll do this, and if you like, you can just Photoshop the belt underneath and me pointing at it.
Wait, can we all just do this real quick? Maybe I'll just screenshot it. Ready?
Well, you're not doing it. There you go. For the podcast.
All right, cool. That's it. That's the picture.
All right, guys. So that is the end.
This has legit been 20 minutes of us just talking about the same story and talking shit. I think we should have ended this 20 minutes ago.
Yep. So this has been the episode of the Cheatcoders, episode 40. Where can they find you, Nats?
40.
Instagram, Facebook. Don't worry, actually, I don't post anymore. Just find me on Cheatcoders.
And Don, where can they find you?
Marketing on point. Instagram at DonDoingStuff. You can check out my YouTube. Just if you Google Don Valix, you'll find my social media stuff. But DonDoingStuff is the new brand, and I'll be moving forward with that. Also, I've created a Facebook page for the Roman Empire, ROAMIN Empire. Check it out. But most of the stuff will be going out on the Cheatcoders network. Shameless plug for this. It'll be going out on Apple Podcasts, Android Podcasts. Trying to get it out on Spotify. It's on YouTube, on the Cheatcoders YouTube page. But yeah.
And you can find the Cheatcoders at the Cheatcoders in Instagram, Facebook, and also Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, as well as everything else and whatever I forgot. All right, guys, that is Raf, Nats, Don, and Don's belt. And have a nice day. Take care.
Cheers.
Peace.